New Earth updates, dearest ones. On our current ascension trajectory, many planetary advancements are underway. Soon we will be immersed again in Piscean energies, coexisting with Aries, representing both the end and the beginning of an individual and planetary karmic cycle, precisely when many of you are finally reclaiming your freedom and sovereignty. As you walk this new dimensional bridge toward your new destination, many are the changes that you and your mission will experience as you continue to choose to fully transform and serve all creation. Many of you, as new Earth anchors, are just beginning to become aware of where you live, where your energy is appreciated, and when it is not. Often, many causes of ascension symptoms are not the ascension process itself, but the place you reside in and the work you do there, or that place not yet being the space you are meant to be in. New Earth anchors are primarily 5th and 7th dimensional living corridors through which the necessary divine transmissions for the specific location are sent. You are living bridges, and as such, you will be where there are new openings to serve as living channels of light. In divine time, you will be relocated if necessary, to where you need to be, as everything must be rearranged for your presence to be in the right place. Trust divine timing and believe that you will receive the necessary information when the moment arrives. Our only job is to remain aligned, connected, and in complete surrender, especially when we are called to our new assignment. Last night, while helping to stabilize, I was shown many new earthly openings in important locations for souls choosing this time to transition to the new harmonic places on Earth. Many believe that if they haven't had the opportunity to rehabilitate their DNA, they will not ascend and will continue living in the astral after choosing to leave Earth. As the guides always share, when there is a pure intention to evolve, even if many souls on Earth cannot have the same opportunities as others, there is always assistance. These souls are led by their guides to illuminated earthly passages, to healing chambers, where their DNA is corrected so they can connect to these new dimensions and ultimately leave the reincarnation wheel. The places I was shown last night are connected by something that was shown to me, and it was incredibly beautiful. An electric blue, an aurora-like color in the sea caused by bioluminescent plankton. In these areas, a new earthly light is being created, which many of you support and stabilize, and that is why often, especially when a marine or earthly disaster occurs, you feel chaos within yourselves. These places need sustaining, and many of you who are there or nearby have the task of sowing greater harmony and balance. Some of the locations I was shown last night, where new interdimensional light portals are being created, are Wangaparea, in Auckland, New Zealand, Grebe Beach, Helford River, Cornwall, UK, Kynan's Cove, the Lizard Peninsula, Cornwall, UK, Holbox Island, Mexico, Toyama Bay, Japan. There are many other locations and earthly doorways to our 5th and 7th dimensional Earth, as it depends on the level of consciousness and the activation of DNA strands where souls will travel, for our frequency must match the frequency of the dimension we are heading to. DNA recoding while still in a physical body is essential if we wish to transcend our 3-dimensional world. Each DNA strand we have reconnected allows us to navigate the corresponding dimension. However, coherence, learning to live in a balanced brain-heart space, and compassionate witnessing are even more, according to the guides, for it is not only the inner work we do that truly changes the dimensional coordinates of our DNA, determining where we will go, but the love in our hearts and the level of forgiveness and the conscious acts we have performed are what will determine everything. May you always remain aligned with the love, wisdom, and power that you are, beloved ones. Thank you for sowing your harmonious, unique, and precious essence where you have been guided. In infinite love, Natalia, Alba, the Pleiadian Council, embodying the current timeline. Greetings, beloved ones. We are the Pleiadian Council. We wish to connect with you today to remind you that you did not incarnate into this current timeline by chance. The reptilian dark consciousness being revealed to you now is an ancient distortion rooted in domination, secrecy, and fear. This energy is surfacing now because it is losing its energetic authority. What was once governed by intimidation, greed, and separation can no longer be sustained by the awakened hearts and minds of each one of you. Now is the time to fully embody your sovereignty. These are the moments you were chosen to embrace through your energetic alchemy skills. Beloved ones, we ask you to understand this transmission clearly. The dark agenda feeds on chaos, division, and emotional reactivity. However, it weakens when confronted with clarity, discipline, and unwavering inner alignment. You are not here to fight the shadows. You are here to out-frequency them. A true light alchemist does not lash out wildly against dark forces. A true light alchemist stabilizes their own nervous system and masters their own thoughts so they cannot be psychologically manipulated or hijacked. Every time you refuse to engage with their fear-based narratives, Every time you question their manipulation tactics, every time you speak your truth without aggression, every time you protect your energetic field by choosing courage over comfort, you are dismantling their ancient grids of energetic control. The darkness being uncovered on your planet is only the beginning. It has been run by a fear-based hierarchy to harvest source energy from humanity. But you, dear ones, carry within you the template of divine harmonics, a veritable power plant that drives through heart-mind coherence, transparency, and conscious strength. We of the Pleiadian Council would like to remind you that you carry codes that cannot be ignored. The light you hold cannot be infiltrated. You are protected by frequencies that distortions cannot penetrate when you remain aligned. This is not a war with weapons. This is a war of awareness, and awareness has already expanded beyond any expectation. We, the Pleiadian Council, ask you to devote this time to sharpening your discernment, grounding your mind, and anchoring your heart. The old paradigm is crumbling, not only because of what is being revealed, but because you have remembered who you are. As you proceed into your light and into the fullness of your personal sovereignty, proceed without fear of the distortions crumbling around you. You, creators of new pathways demonstrating balance and unity to the vast human collective. We, the Pleiadian Council, encourage you to move forward and co-create together the era of utopia on Earth. We, the Pleiadian Council, would like to thank you for this opportunity to connect. We send to you, to your world, and to all its inhabitants our undivided love and assistance. Conscious creation. Living in alignment, do we truly create our reality? This timeless question awakens something profound within us, a quiet knowing that life is more than mere chance. To understand the answer, we must first reframe one of the most misunderstood concepts in spiritual wisdom: karma. Too often, karma is viewed as cosmic punishment, a stern universe keeping score of our past mistakes, doling out hardship as payback for wrongs committed in this life or another. Some even speak of burning karma as if it were a debt to be erased through suffering or ritual. But this misses the heart of what karma truly is. Karma is not punishment. There is no vengeful force at a cosmic level waiting to make you pay. God, or the infinite source of all, is love, not punishment. Karma is simply the soul's loving curriculum. It represents the lessons your consciousness chose to embrace so that you could grow, expand, and remember your true nature. Before incarnating, your soul dives into this life with an intent to learn, to evolve, to become more fully itself. Wanting to burn karma is like wanting to burn your own soul. Challenges arise: illness, loss, sudden changes, the end of a job or relationship, and our instinctive response is resistance. We wish to turn back time, to return to how things were. We label the experience negative and push it away, refusing to engage. Yet, in this refusal, we miss the invitation. The lesson persists, sometimes intensifying until it can no longer be ignored. The pain increases not as punishment, but as a compassionate signal. Embrace me. Learn from me. Let go of the past and begin to grow. When we finally surrender, when we accept the experience, release old attachments, and open ourselves to transformation, the energy shifts. Karma, far from being an external judge, reveals itself as the wise voice of our soul guiding us home. This belief in an external cosmic judge makes it impossible to identify with the inner creator and, consequently, makes conscious creation impossible. You cannot truly create if you believe the fundamental creative force of the universe is separate from you and wants to punish you. And this brings us to conscious creation. Yes, we shape our reality, but the process is subtle, layered, and deeply personal. What we experience is the combined dance of three inner forces. 1. Our conscious mind. The thoughts we choose, the affirmations we repeat, the visions we hold. 2. Our subconscious beliefs. The hidden convictions, often formed long ago and inherited, that silently lurk beneath the surface. All the fears we do not face. 3. The energy and blueprint of our soul. The deepest intention that brought us here. Consider a common desire: more abundance, perhaps financial freedom. On a conscious level, we might affirm, money flows to me easily, visualize prosperity, and take inspired action. However, if the subconscious holds the belief that rich people are greedy or wealth corrupts, then that judgment acts as an invisible counterforce. The conscious desire is sincere, but the deep-seated distrust blocks its flow. No matter how many positive affirmations are repeated, reality remains unchanged until the inner conflict is identified and healed. But there is yet a third force at play, which is the soul. Often, our conscious desires are rooted in fear. We want money to feel safe, secure, and in control. Behind this desire lies a lack of trust in life itself. The soul, however, creates from love. Your soul's deepest intention might not be financial security, but learning to trust. Learning that life supports you, that you can navigate uncertainty, that your worth isn't dependent on control or accumulation. When the conscious desire is fear-driven and the soul's direction is love-driven, creation becomes conflicted. True creation happens only when these forces align. The soul's blueprint is always rooted in love, expansion, courage, deeper trust. When your conscious intentions harmonize with that loving impulse, inspiration can arrive. Ideas flow. Synchronicities appear. You become a channel for something greater. You feel the creative fire within, not as forced effort, but as joyful alignment. Creating in harmony. When you try to create from fear, you work against your own soul and things tend to get stuck, collapse, and you feel exhausted. When you create with love, you feel inspired, energized, and deeply aligned. This is the soul's creative force moving through you. To access it requires awareness. You must become aware of your unconscious beliefs, especially those that feel so normal, you've never questioned them. You cannot create abundance if you resent wealth. You cannot build a healthy relationship if you believe others are untrustworthy. No amount of positive thinking can override deeply ingrained subconscious beliefs. Growth begins when you ask yourself, what do I truly believe? What am I afraid of? What am I trying to protect myself from? Behind these questions lies a deeper truth. What you truly desire is not money, love, or success, but to grow. You want to become your more fully self. You want to live in closer connection with your soul's energy. You want to radiate your light. Summary: the key to creation. The key to conscious creation is self-knowledge. Self-knowledge means becoming aware of your unconscious beliefs, acknowledging your fears without rejecting them, and gently integrating them into your awareness. And beyond this, it means reconnecting with the deepest part of yourself. The divine spark, the creative intelligence that brought the universe into being. At the deepest level, that creative force is not separate from you. When consciousness, subconscious, and soul move together, you become a point of creative light. Life no longer feels like something that happens to you, but something that flows through you, and from that place, creation becomes spontaneous, meaningful, and deeply alive. Challenges become doorways. Desires become expressions of your soul's joy. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator awakening. The universe is not against you. It operates through you. Welcome the lessons. Align with the love that you are. In this alignment, you become a radiant point of light, consciously and joyfully shaping a reality that reflects your soul's beauty and power. In doing so, you inspire the world simply by remembering who you truly are. Life Tapestry Creations. Rising from the ashes, dearest ones, it is time to address the changes you have been noticing, and those you wish to occur. We of the universes have informed you on several occasions that change would occur easily, without wars or other forms of destruction. This is happening now, particularly in the United States. The United States is shifting at supersonic speed from a pyramid of power to a circle of inclusion. Many of you do not necessarily perceive or see this change because you are not in the same geographical areas as those who are experiencing how a circle of inclusion is more powerful than the 3D pyramid of power. What was once accepted is no longer so in various corners of the world, causing a ripple effect that empowers the millions who have made the transition but were afraid to declare themselves. Like millions who have transitioned, they can't believe they are not in Kansas anymore. So they continue to behave and react the same until their inner light of awareness switches on. Every day, more and more lights switch on, as media reports of anti-establishment thoughts or actions, not from fear, but from love, attest. What was once thought impossible is becoming more probable every day, as media reports and your inner voice attest. You no longer feel the need to submit to an external power system. Nor do you expect external power systems to take care of you or to notice you. Your current world is upside down in a new and glorious way. Societal rules are falling apart, as are externally oriented power structures. And as prophesied, this is happening with a whimper rather than a war. You and others have simply told yourselves that doing this or that was inappropriate for you. And those watching realize you are not punished or ostracized for the very actions they have long wished to take. The followers and creators of 3D rules are being hampered by their lack of power and rightness in this wonderful new social order. An order of self-control and awareness that has little to do with external power brokers or societal norms. Your life has become what it is, instead of what you were told it should be. Earth and you are new. A newness that has manifested in some areas of the planet, but is beginning to spread to the majority, for many more humans have completed the transition than those who have not. This will become even more evident in the coming days, as exciting and unexpected actions and reactions occur worldwide. It is over. And it is time for 3D to hide in the corner of non-compliance or even acceptance, which will happen in the coming weeks. Instead of physically harming those in 3D, you will ignore them, which, to someone firmly three-dimensionally oriented, is a fate worse than death, for they will remain three-dimensional leaders in their mind, with none or very few to lead. Loss of power will be the greatest difficulty for them. And so it will be that those with outwardly directed power will seem to dissolve into nothingness, while those who have fully embraced their inwardly directed being will shine in love and laughter. Not because they have slain the dragon, but because what was, is no more. It is finally time for you to shine and sparkle as you have wished to do for eons, especially in this lifetime, for every earth life you have lived has brought you closer to this point. Allow yourselves to know that you have vanquished the 3D dragon peacefully, rather than through war. It is over. You are rising from the ashes of what was supposed to fully reclaim your being, in this earth life and forever. So be it. Amen. The Arturian group. Earth is shifting more and more into what it has always been, dear readers. Earth is shifting more and more into what it has always been, but has never been known as. Most people have never suspected that it was anything other than what they perceive, a world of duality, separation, and many powers. The lies, programming, controls, and activities of those who work to keep humanity in fear and ignorance of their true identity have over time permeated every aspect of life on Earth. Yet the high resonant energies of the ascension process are helping to illuminate and uncover long-hidden pockets of density, which in turn are pushing many previously closed minds to begin questioning all they have been told and have believed. God/divine consciousness is absolute, the only reality. Omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient creativity. Because you cannot make something from nothing, everything that human eyes perceive as material is actually a spiritual creative idea in the divine mind. God's expressions embody all that God is because nothing else exists, but how they are interpreted depends upon the personal or collective consciousness interpreting them. Collectively, all see the same thing. Personally, one may see beauty and love where another sees forms of ugliness and separation. For instance, you see trees and plants as solid and material. If you were able to see their true spiritual form, and some can and many more will, you would see wonderful energies of light flowing as individual forms connecting with other light forms. Animals are expressions of the divine mind and have individuality, but on Earth they too are under the influence of duality, separation, and many powers. On an ascended Earth, animals will not eat each other or be violent, which is the meaning of the statement, "The lion shall lay down with the lamb." False three-dimensional energy separates. True divine energy reflects oneness, love. Earth is a living, breathing spiritual creation of the divine mind, but humans have been hypnotized into believing Earth is inanimate and material, just dirt and water to be used and abused for their own personal gain. Earth is made up of much that humanity desires and needs. Crystals, minerals, water, healing plants, energy sources, etc. But these things were meant to be shared with Earth in respect that they form Mother Earth's body. As Earth's ascension process progresses, new and more advanced technologies will begin to manifest, rendering many current systems obsolete. Products that were needed in the past will no longer be needed, which is why much available high-resonant technology has never been released to the world. Earth's inhabitants were given information about free energy sources long ago, but this information has been kept hidden to keep energy product-based industries alive and well. Greed is the deep-seated reason why so many superior ideas, inventions, and methods for making life on Earth easier have been hidden from the general public. For a very long time, far-thinking inventors and researchers have simply disappeared, and their advanced research has been sabotaged and removed. This information will come to light as the ascension process continues to unfold, uncovering hidden pockets of density. Divine law is the only law, and as such, governs everything. Divine law is permanent, it cannot be changed, and it is and will forever remain the one and only law that underlies all life, science, nature, etc. Because God is omnipresent. Even rocks have a level of consciousness. It is divine law that causes a seed to sprout, that causes rain when needed, and that causes babies to be conceived. Divine law causes apples to grow from apple trees and roses from rose bushes in their perfectly timed seasons. It is divine law that automatically draws the correct nutrients from the ground to feed every single plant and tree, and it is divine law that holds stars and planets in place and moves the tides. You have been led to believe that human thought must adapt, change, and manipulate science and nature under the guise of making them better. Human inventors, scientists, teachers, artists, and workers in all walks of life have the ability to tap into and bring forth the divine intelligence underlying their particular aspect of interest, but so far most do not know this, and so, with three-dimensional thinking, manipulate science, plants, health, food, education, religion, and government from a limited perspective. A higher resonant world will bring forth ideas and creations that most people do not yet believe are possible because so much has been and continues to be hidden for profit and gain. The ascension process is not so much a time of change as it is a time of revelation. A time when the false will be uncovered to reveal the hidden, largely unknown realities underlying everything. You will witness more and more density being exposed as ascension energies dissolve the barriers that have protected worldwide deception, manipulation, and control. People and activities will be exposed, shocking the majority, causing doubt and confusion for those still clinging to the false narrative, but which will serve to free them from their three-dimensional dream state. All is proceeding according to plan, and nothing is by chance. You are living in times that have long been predicted. It is natural for humanity to evolve beyond darkness and separation, for these things have always been illusion, hypnotism, a dream state, and never reality. Things will never return to normal, as many hope. The past is past and is fast becoming obsolete, no matter how well it has served along the evolutionary path. Do not dwell on or long for the past, either personally or globally. It is very easy to slip into this, comparing the present with what seemed happier times. The past is important because it is part of everyone's path to the next spiritual level. However, longing for what is finished can hold on to spiritually outgrown energies. It is like going through elementary school, then high school, then university, and then postgraduate work, choosing to return to elementary school for answers and information. There may be times when it is important and actually necessary to revisit the past. If the energy of a past event or situation remains unfinished and resonates with anger, regret, revenge, hatred, etc., it must be resolved and cleared, or it will remain in one's energy field. Resolving and clearing issues that may still feel problematic can be a simple process of honestly acknowledging your feelings and beliefs about the person or activity, and then translating them into truth. Acknowledge the divine identity of all involved, including yourself, acknowledge all the hypnotism and false beliefs involved, and consciously release the entire learning experience into the nothingness that it has always been but you did not at the time understand. This is not to ignore or pretend to forget something that may have been painful, but rather to see it from a higher level that allows you to release it. When we warn against dwelling on the past, we refer to the habit of some to constantly long for and wish for past times that are finished and have served their purpose, not to revisiting the past for the purpose of clearing it. You will witness a new and higher worldview emerging from the chaos created by the crumbling of false foundations, as Earth moves ever closer to truth. Humanity is graduating. We are the Arturian group.